Festiva says. Flaps.
Hello, chat. How's it going, boys? I see we've already got a couple of people in the chat. So how's it going? We got some new ideas to play around with today because I don't have enough ideas that I haven't finished. We have to make more of them. That's how we do it. That is the artiste way. Let me position myself a little bit here. Alright. Tone boys are visible. Thank you, Dice Bag. The audience does need to see you when we talk. That is very important.
Cat with a mouse says,
we don't talk that much though.
New ideas. Let's throw some at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, just throw more ideas at the wall. You need more of those. He already has so many ideas, he can't finish them all, but here we go. We're gonna make more of them. That's right. Actually, this idea kind of is gonna tie in with an idea that has not completely been fleshed out yet. So, I think I'm justified in doing this. We are going to create the Sallow King. The Sallow King, boys. How's that for something? Do you have any idea what the hell I'm talking about? Probably not. But that's what we're going to be doing today. And we got a member of the Sylvan Guard up here because that is going to tie in with their lore. So what's been up with you guys? I've just been trolling Twitter these days.
Cat with a mouse says. Sallow Key. Sounds like a haunted port.
No, Sallow King. King. The Sallow King. Very important distinction there. We got gonna be a new mythic creature because I already don't have enough of those. Enough that so many that I definitely don't have so many that I'm not going to use them all in the first release. We have to make another one, which I actually might use, but we'll see. We'll see how this turns out.
Cat with a mouse says. King, got it? So an antithesis to the verdant king or the work of mankind.
He's picking it up. He's catching what I'm putting down. Picking up what I'm putting down. Let's see, I'm gonna need a reference though. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this boy up on screen. There we go. This is going to be our inspiration. We're going to use that as a basis for what this guy's going to look like. Now this whole concept, I'm kind of drawing from like some Cthulhu mythos here. Sallow King is going to be plant and aberrant typed. Whoops. And he's gonna draw on some inspiration from the King in Yellow, which is why he's sallow. And he will play into the lore behind the Sylvan Empire. I don't want to give too much of that away since it's gonna eventually come up in the campaign if we actually keep it going long enough. So if I'm a little tight-lipped, that's why. But I've got plans for him. And also, it's going to be kind of like a lot of the things I'm making, like with the adventure templates and stuff, are meant to be kind of chained together to give these, give like a kind of an overarching storyline that you can follow that isn't just set in stone. So stuff with like the Sylvan Guard and whatnot, they're going to have like certain things that they do in the campaign, like goals that they're trying to achieve. And that can play out in a number of different ways. Yeah, the Sallow King is going to be basically the anti-Verdant King. I was originally thinking like maybe the counterpart to the Verdant King would be like death type. But I have so many ideas for death type mythic creatures already that many of which I've already kind of drawn up and created designs for. So I was like, man, I really don't need another death type mythic creature. That would be a little overkill. Let's see, let's give him spindly hands like so. So we're going with Aberrant as the secondary type, as a counter to the Fairy type for the Verdant King here. And that's where drawing on like Cthulhu mythos kind of came into play. And I thought, wow, there's already a king named entity in the Cthulhu mythos, so why don't I draw from that? And this is how the Sallow King came to be conceived. We're still gonna have to... I haven't like decided on all his stats and whatnot at this point. Or his what do you call it? His classes and stuff.
Cat with a Mouse says, how about a Sallow King ally based on contagions or the idea of spreading? Like the Fungal Queen?
I don't think he's gonna really need allies, but we will have to like consider his, what do you call it? His agent creatures. Like the Verdant King has the Creebeans and stuff, so we'll have to decide, do we want to make like an aberrant variant of Creebeans? Or do we want to have like something completely different that's kind of like a Creebean, but not really? Then we'll have to come up with like a whole, like a tech tree based on his powers and his magic and stuff. that kind of mirrors like the Viridian Order stuff. Of course, I still haven't fully fleshed out like
Cat with the mouse says,
the artisans and stuff.
if it were me, I'd first try a convergent evolution to Crebean.
So, like a thing that kind of looks like Crebean, but it's a completely different thing, you mean?
Cat with a mouse says, correct. Like false monarch butterflies.
Right. So one of the things we're going to want to do with this design, since he's aberrant, we got to kind of make a little bit of a tentacly appearance to him. But he's also plant, so we're gonna be kind of incorporating vines into the character design in some way. I'm thinking instead of having like the butterfly wings that Verdant King does, then he's gonna have like vine tendrils stringing out of his back and whatnot. And then of course like the robe here. The robe is gonna have some of that shit.
A pack of caterpillars, fierce and green, burst through the brush with a savage gleam. Their carapace shining like armored knights.
Of course, tentacles are a pain to draw, and vines. They're basically the same thing, as far as I'm concerned. They should probably be... They probably shouldn't have, like, the rounded tips.
Spell and claw in a fiery clash. Starlight faint through the trees did flash. The conjurers stood, their powers ablaze. Yet the swarm moved fast like a smoky haze.
Although this does kind of answer one of the questions I had about his potential classes. If he's gonna have tendrils as a prominent feature, then he's probably gonna fit very well with the anomaly class. just based on that alone. So that kind of answers that question, I suppose. I saw somebody posting over on Twitter some bullshit. Some Vtuber is one, like somebody mentions that some post goes viral mentioning like how they like mute Discord servers just immediately after joining them. And then there's a Vtuber retweeting it, wondering like why people do that. And my question would be, how do people not do that? Like, I do not understand the drive to use Discord as if it's a social media. As soon as you get into a new freaking Discord server, there's like conversations going on that you usually...
Privacy concerns. So that people joining don't interrupt the content.
Yeah, but as soon as you join like a Discord group, it's like you're the odd man out. You don't know what's going on. Every conversation has already been going on without you. So you're just kind of like jumping in. No context to anything. They usually have like a million different channels within the server. Most of them don't really need to be there, or they're just kind of like pointless, or they don't really fit. You're probably not going to use them very much, but they're there for some reason. Because apparently people can't just talk about general things in the general chat. That tendril does not look right. So you join a new server, you don't know anybody there, you don't know what the conversations are, you don't have any context for what's being said. It's probably got a bunch of different places where you're supposed to post different things, but God forbid you post in the wrong place. And then you've got a bunch of other servers that you've joined that are all vying for your attention too. And it's just not reasonable to expect people to like keep up with them all. Meanwhile, if you've got like a reasonably sizable following
Cat with a
of
mouse
people
says,
that are also following
just
other
realized
things.
that the website does not have a page under the Crytures tab explaining the various types yet. Jez the Owling says, Hola.
Hello Jez, how's it going? We are designing a new mythic creature right now. Yeah, actually the types are something I need to like talk more about in general. I think they're mostly self-explanatory, but there is a list of them on one of the pages under the world on the website. That's as close as we've got. Also, I need to make a freaking actual trailer for the game at some point. Like I've got like an intro video on the YouTube channel, but it's like 10 minutes long. So that's not exactly like a trailer. Or there's something I mentioned to Patty when he was like, "Oh, do you have a trailer? I'll run it on my things." And I'm like, do I have a trailer? I don't actually have a trailer. I could probably make a pretty decent trailer with like the whole AI animation stuff that I got going on, although some of them are a little difficult to get the AI to do the proper thing to them. As is generally the problem with AI anything. Let's give this guy some like saggy look to his sleeves here. So it looks like he's wilting a little bit or something like that. You catch my drift, right?
Jez the Owling says, "This is a legitimate question and not a criticism, but why not hire an animator?" Cat with a mouse says,
do you have any idea
"The
how
flesh is rotting away due to
expensive
the sheer evil
animation
within
gets?
his body."
Also, the kind of animations I'm doing, I could probably do myself if I had time to actually do it. But animation is so time consuming. And getting other people to do it is expensive because it is so time consuming. It's just not really viable. I'm already paying an artist to help me out as an assistant with this stuff, to do my line art and whatnot. And generally, though, I'm not like a big AI simp. I do think using it off of my own artwork is like a perfectly reasonable thing to do for the sake of efficiency. I'm generally of the opinion when it comes to AI stuff that artists are going to be able to use it better than non-artists. And there's a lot of stuff that you can just make faster when you're working with AI to like get you just the rough drafts and stuff, thumbnail sketches and stuff like that, just layouts for your pages. If I had more time and like a better animation program, I'd probably be going in and like doing my own edits of the animations that I pop out with AI, but it's just a time thing. Time and resources. What do you guys think? Are the extra in between pedals too much?
I see.
Yeah. I'm kind of like middle of the road when it comes to the AI stuff. Like, I really hate the like full-on AI sims that are just like, oh, this is gonna replace artists. And they just have like this animosity for artists in general, and it's like, dude, where do you think the artwork that created all of the data that these things came from, or that all of these things used came from? It came from artists. Like, you're literally using stuff that came from the artist that you have such animosity towards, and it's like, why? AI going off of its own things is not going to produce good results. We've already seen studies saying that things degrade. AIs degrade really quickly when they start getting trained off of AI generated content. So they need to have like a fresh influx of human stuff to really be useful. Kind of insane to me. I likened it to people thinking that food comes from the grocery store rather than from farms. Same kind of mentality as far as I'm concerned.
Jezdail Ling says, I feel like AI will benefit corporations more than anything, but time will tell. Also the anti-human arguments are just sad to see. Cat with the mouse says, that's why everyone loves Neurosama. Her training comes from Twitch chat. Pure human-based input.
I'm not so sure that AI will be that great for corporations, because the thing is, like, I see how I'm using it, and a lot of the way I'm using it is to bypass the fact that I don't have, like, tons of money to spend on things, and tons of time to create things. I think if like independent creators actually do their homework and learn how to use AI and like use it to supplement their natural skills, or their trained skills rather, then they'll probably be able to put out stuff that actually rivals the corporations. People just kind of need to get over seeing it as kind of one thing or another. Like, you can use AI as an artistic tool without it just being a thing that does the entire job for you. Like, let me pull up something I was working on last week. Now that we're on the topic. So here's kind of an example of what I'm talking about. This is... Well, here, I'll just show you here. This is the result of something I've popped out with ChatGPT. It's surprisingly good at like taking images and like character designs that you give it and putting it into an actual scene, but it's still like quite wonky. So if you look down here, like I've done a lot of editing, just like painting over the thing and like cropping it out and changing, like resizing things on the page. And then I went through and just basically used that as like a trace. And then of course I changed the details that weren't lining up and, you know, position things in the proper way. And I think it's a lot faster doing it this way than just trying to draw it all out by hand. And especially if you can just generate multiple things, like skipping out the entire thumbnailing process and whatnot.
Jez the Owling says, it also just doesn't seem to have the same personality.
Yeah. And then of course, like with the animations, I mostly just kind of use them as like throwaway little clips that I use for B-roll in some of my videos.
Cat with a mouse
so
says,
that they're not just still pictures.
line art with the pupils going 2 different directions felt more real. Yeah. The changing up the face like that is actually just because I wanted to keep the whole thing about Petrox and their family like really big on the whole, like having customizable faces and stuff. Like that's kind of their whole shtick, is that each one looks a little bit different depending on who made it. Like so. So that's just part of their lore, so I want to make sure we don't just use like the standard same exact design with the face and the patterns every single time. That's something I want to make sure I keep consistent throughout the artwork, or rather inconsistent. This dude's head is not really connected with his body the way I think it should. Also, doing that whole thing with like using ChatGPT like I was just showing, it relies on me already having character designs made up. Cat with a mouse says, inconsistency is a hard balance.
So like right there, that's something you really need an artist for. If you let ChatGPT or whatever just make their own designs, they turn out extremely generic. They literally just will look like Pokemon.
What is this thing you're drawing called?
This is the Sallow King, who is kind of a antithesis to the guy over in the corner over there, the Verdant King. The Verdant King is a mythic creature. And mythic creatures are basically like creatures that have some kind of like supernatural tie to specific parts of the world. Like the parts, they have a domain that they oversee, and that's like something they own and control. And in the creature's world, the noble classes are basically conjurers who have bound one of these mythic creatures.
Dice is making a devil to match his god. Jez the Owling says, kinda reminds me of PVZGW.
I have no idea what that is. What is that? What is PVZGW? I'm like totally blanking.
Jez the Owling says, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare.
Oh, okay. I've never played a Plants vs Zombies game. I have seen some people play it on the YouTubes. So the Sallow King is a plant and aberrant mythic creature. As a counterbalance to the plant and fairy type of the Verdant King. And I'm drawing a little bit on like Cthulhu mythos with the King in Yellow. Which is kind of where the sallow term comes from. He's yellowish.
Jez the Owling says, I do like this design quite a lot.
That's good to know. Means I'm on the right track.
Cat with a Mouse says, I almost expected this guy to have either 0 eyes or too many eyes.
He's just got glowing eyes in his little shadowy face here. That's one of the things with Haster, the King in Yellow, is that he's generally depicted in like long robes with tentacles coming out of it, and his face is obscured. But he also wears like a faceless mask, I think. Some of the depictions are just all over the place. That's kind of what you get when you're trying to depict stuff that like these cosmic horror writers are talking about with their language, and they're like, it was indescribable. It's like, thanks. I really know what it looks like now. You could at least throw a few metaphors in there.
Jezzailling says, I kinda wanna sculpt this guy in clay. I like making plant-based characters.
Well, be my guest.
Cat with a Mouse says, any plans for the location name of Carcassa? Could inspire a creature that looks like a carnivorous rose beast.
Carcosa? I haven't really thought about using the actual like lore in in such a direct way. I am thinking that since the King in Yellow is kind of like summoned by a play in the mythos, like that's the whole thing, is the King in Yellow is a play with the King in Yellow being a character in the play, that it would make sense for like this particular mythic creature to have some kind of tie to a specific book. That's something I wanted to introduce for mythic creatures for a while. Is like having ones that are not exactly like based on a natural region of the world, and they're just kind of like out there without a real tie to anything specific. Like I want to have some that are like based on concepts.
Cat with a Mouse says, design makes me think of the fake title of The Wilting of the Willow.
Fake title of The Wilting of the Willow. I'm not familiar with that. Or is that something you just made up?
Cat with a Mouse says, trying to come up with an in-game play title for you.
I think we need to make his fingers like a little more wiggly.
Cat with a Mouse says, more noodle-ly.
Yeah, we'll give him really long fingers. That looks nice and creepy looking. Long-fingered hands are definitely a thing that, like, Really sets off my uncanny valley senses.
Blinded by their bold desire, mortals sought to harness fire, but fire burns and shadows spread.
Cat with a mouse says. That's right, boy. Channel that D&D mind flayer energy.
Oh yeah, that looks nice and creepy. Oh no, guys, I'm drawing Cthulhu's now. I'm gonna go crazy because I see tentacles. I'm thinking about what else I can do with them because I think the design might be done already, and we're not even an hour in the stream. We might have to come up with like all the designs to fill the time. I haven't thought about the designs for like his agent creatures very much yet. It might be a little more might be winging it from here on out if we're already done with this guy's design. I can't really think of much else that I want to do to the guy. Let's see, maybe tighten up his neck a little bit. Because at this point, I'd probably just send this off to Patron to give him something to do. And clean up the line art. But that won't take him very long. Because it didn't even take me very long to draw the thing. Or the sketchy thing. What do we think of the naming scheme of the Sallow King? You guys have any better ideas of like a yellowish implication that's like the opposite of verdant? Let's see, let's save this thing. Oh wait, not save as a PNG, we need to save this as a Clip Studio Paint file. There we go. Whoops. I'm drawing where I don't intend to. Trying to find the PNG I got here. Alright, there he is.
Cat with a mouse says. Just looked up synonyms for yellow. How about something like the Ochre Lord?
Ochre is another one that I thought about using. Although I think ochre would be more of a counterpart to, say, Viridian in the terms of, like, related to Verdant King. So, like, the mythic conjurer that binds the Sallow King might have the Ochre Order. As an opposition to the Viridian Order. Let's see. What can we do with Creebian though, and to kind of turn it into like a twisted version? Let's get him up here. If I can find where it is. H-I-J-K, elemental P. We might need to do a little bit of research, actually. Let's look for...
Cat with a Mouse says,
legumes.
Creebian is based on pitcher plants, right? How about going for a Venus flytrap?
He's not based on a pitcher plant. He is a... he's a legume. He is a bean. Which is why he turns into... a beanstalk. So I'm thinking if we can find a freaky looking bean plant, then we might have something to go off of. Maybe he'll be based on like green beans or something. Okay, it's just generally showing me creepy looking plants, which is not as helpful as I was hoping. Let's see what green bean plants actually look like.
Draken Smoldhar says, Heya.
Hello there, Draken. How's it going? We don't see too many Odyssey people. We've been seeing more Odyssey people recently, though. Oddly enough. Seems like they're pushing to get people onto the platform recently. I keep seeing them on Twitter talking. Right now we are working on some mythic creatures for my monster collecting tabletop RPG here. I'm looking for something to base, some kind of plant to base a creature off of that will be like this
Draken
thing's
Smoldhar
minion.
says, and I rarely use Odyssey ATVH, not much Vtuber variety on here.
I know, right? Yeah. I feel like VTubers should really be looking for alternatives to the mainstream platforms because they get getting screwed, especially by Twitch. It astounds me that VTubers keep using Twitch so much. There's so many examples of them just getting screwed over for stupid things. I guess Odyssey doesn't really have the user base. Rumble might be a little more viable, but there's still not a huge VTuber presence over there. Well, I know quite a few, anyways.
Draken Smoldhar says, I am a VTuber myself. YouTube seems to suggest me to so many people, but the wrong people, leading to low views, which sucks.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, I made the mistake of using their built-in advertising platform to try and get my videos out there, and I ended up with like over 1,000 people subscribing to my channel and none of them watching. So my YouTube channel is pretty much dead for that. For my personal one. We got one specifically for the game that's still growing.
Says, "Oh yeah, don't do that, it only leads to short-term growth."
Let's see. Like I was saying before, I'm thinking we could base these things off of green beans, and that would be fairly... we could make that creepy looking, I think. Let's see. I mean, look at these things.
Drake and Smoldhar says, "Green beans do sound like a tasty Pokemon." Cat with a Mouse says, "YouTube has basically become your behind-the-scenes archive."
Yeah. Well, I think Jez is over on YouTube, right? We get some people popping in on YouTube here and there now. And their algorithm has been all over the place. It actually seems like they're putting a lot of smaller channels in people's feeds. I keep getting a bunch of small channels popping up that have like single or double-digit views on their videos. Okay, here's the question. Do we want them to be like this? Or do we want them to be like this?
Cat with a Mouse says, "Dale chats through YouTube when he does show up."
Yeah, I don't know, I think he's actually been going through Rumble recently.
Drake and Smoldhar says, "Art is cool. I used to dabble in pixel art a lot. I probably should get back into it."
Yeah, art's nice. I guess. I'm doing it. I must think pretty highly of it.
Cat with a Mouse says, "Go more angular and unraveled. Too clean for evil looks strange."
Oh, you know what? Instead of making these like knights like the Verdant King has, we can make them like creepy cultist things.
Drake and Smoldhar says, "Evil plant doing evil things."
I think I've cracked the code, boys. Alright. Now that I know what I'm doing. Let's give him the lumpy bean shape. Lumpy green bean shape. Something like so. They're gonna need arms or something though. Let's see, is that... It's probably the proper size. I keep making all my things kind of the wrong size compared to one another. It drives me crazy when I try to like put them in the same... Put them together just like copy and paste style. Because I have to resize everything. And I'm not super adept at drawing cartoons as much as I'd like to be, so when we get into things like, it's like, where do the arms attach on this thing? I'm still thinking about bone structure. Maybe they should be kinda more like, yeah. Now let's keep these and we'll compare. We'll just slice these things off. Put those on a separate layer.
Cat with a mouse says. Arm/shoulder placement looks good where they are.
There we go. Now we're getting like the kind of the Cthulhu cultist vibe going on. Which is what I was hoping for. I don't like the curve on this thing.
Cat with a mouse says. Cannibal plus peas equals canopies.
Canopies? Maybe we should have this arm going forward since his body is kind of pointed in that direction there. And we'll make his mouth slightly open. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is the way, guys. That turned out pretty nice. I don't think there's a whole lot we need to do, though. I want to clean up some of his stuff here before we send it over to Patron. For the clean line art.
Cat with a mouse says. Now presenting, 4 Crebians in a raincoat.
Now the real question is, what are we gonna make the rest of his metamorphoses look like? Let's see, Crebean would probably be about like so by comparison. Maybe even smaller.
Through the mists, the path is set. A conjurer's oath, no chance to regret. Vivid veil where the shadows gleam. Under the rule of a
Something like so.
fairy's dream. Verdant king, your gaze I feel. A throne of leaves, a realm unreal. Bound by thorns, the
Let's take a look at more inspiration from green beans, exactly. Let's see how they actually mature. Let's see, is there a green bean life cycle?
branches twitch with whispered dread. Echoes of the living, the long since dead. Arcane runes in
The plants themselves don't look
veins of
especially interesting, really.
untold. Oath of the conjurer,
Although looking back at the way Crebean develops,
glades where mortals triumph.
like the main through line is that he basically grows a body out of his head.
King's might.
And we could probably do something similar for this thing, like this would just be like the upper body and then like everything else kind of grows out of that. Let's play around with some shapes.
Winding streams with laughter laced. The valley
If we make this like the head,
ancient grace, yet cunning eyes behind the throne. A fairy king's call, the rhythm a song.
Let's see. Green bean plants basically have a bunch of leaves growing out of them around the top, which is where the actual beans are produced from, it seems. Let's look at, what does a green bean leaf look like? Closer up. Okay, they're not like super distinct, they're just kind of leaves. Just generic leaves. I guess that'll mirror the Kree progression fairly well anyways. Yeah, let's keep this consistent from one side to the other. This guy doesn't need to be that tall either. He should probably be about like so. And then he can have like a real skinny lower body. Let's go ahead and give him like actual
Cat
hands,
with a mouse says,
but not with full
living green bean punching bag then.
Whoops. We need to separate this and do a different layer. Alright. Cut that. There we go. Let's give him a little extra in the back here so you can see that he's stable. He's got four roots. vines, whatever you want to call these. He's got 4 of them.
Cat with a mouse says. Foot plus vine plus root equals vinoots.
Vinoots. Let's see, let's make sure this his quote-unquote robe occurs with his body. We could probably stand to make him a little bigger. So he would be like slightly shorter than a human, maybe around shoulder height. Then we need to make the big one. Actually, I should probably kinda shore up some of the details on this thing. Let's actually not make the leaves so distinct. And I should probably be using a smaller eraser at this point instead of just YOLOing it with the 60 pixel eraser. Nah, I liked it better the other way. Let's see, no, we don't want to give him a mask just yet. We'll save the mask for, like, the final one. Like how Roostalk has. These guys will still have the look on their face. Alright, I think we're good on that. So now we gotta do the big guys.
Through the shadows we tread with care. Conjurers unite, we're well aware. In the heart of the mall lies grim despair.
Let's see, is that... It's about the same size.
Mystic runes glow in the midnight air. We chant our spells with fiery flare.
Now these guys will have like a leaf covering up their mouth.
In the abyss, our courage is found. Light the torches, we'll find our way.
I'm gonna make them a little more like top heavy in the bean part.
Together we rise against the fray. In deep Ma's belly.
Let's get the Sallow King out of here. We don't really need him lurking in the background the entire time.
Silent whispers from the ancient past. Haunted souls in the shadows cast. We hold fast to magic unsurpassed. Our sorcery summoned ever fast. Eerie winds howl like banshees cry. Spirits linger and the demons fly. Arcane power in our veins so high. Through the darkness we'll defy.
We'll have the shoulders a little more
Chalice raised with sacred
drooping.
light, banish all beyond our sight. In unity we fight the blight, guardians of the endless night.
Actually, I think we should give him like a cloak. And he'll have all 3 of his fingers grown in by now. Hell yeah. Alright, let's get these other guys out of the way here, so I can focus on this. Okay, let's see. What else can we do to these guys in like the lower body? Perhaps we should throw some extra leaves in there. Kind of give him like a robe look, or more of a robe look.
Cat with a mouse says, only thing I can think of is give him multiple arms.
Multiple arms might be on the table. Like maybe if he had... like a smaller pair down at the bottom. Then let's see. How big are these other things? Could probably move him slightly lower. Let's Still want him to be kind of hunched over here. We're gonna change the curve on that slightly. We could probably go even thinner with the stalk part. We probably need more than one leaf to make up his cloak. Otherwise it's just gonna look weird. Something like so. Although now that I'm looking at it, we'll probably just want to go like straight up. Have the cloak not like drape over its shoulders or anything. Just kind of be
Cat with a
on
mouse
the
says,
back.
And we have the Crytures' lame name of Terror Bean.
We'll come up with some good names at some point. At some point. I need to clean it up a little bit though before I send this off for actual line art. Can't just leave it all half drawn. This hand is kind of driving me crazy. It just don't look right. Let's try moving the thumb further down. Let's flip the direction. You know what? I just kind of hate it in general. Let's erase the whole dang thing. We'll start over. That's better. Alright. Oh, this is the tedious part. This is why I have Patron to do things
Civilian
for me.
Vacillation says. Cheap viewers
Holy
on
hell.
streambo.com. Remove the space.
Damn, bro, what
4OX
took you so
4YQB.
long? I've been waiting for cheap viewers to come by for the whole stream. It's been almost 2 hours, and the cheap viewers just now got here. Let's get rid of that guy. Civilian Vaseline Lilacs banned.
Cat with a mouse says. Nice.
I have to remember that I have a soundboard more often. Here, we should just play this one while I'm doing all of this. Let's see. Where is it at? It's not long enough.
Cat with a mouse says. Beautiful piece of nostalgia right there.
Jeopardy! Still recognizable. I wonder how many kids these days actually recognize the Jeopardy thinking music. The final Jeopardy music. Had to think a little bit about what the actual name of the part of the show that it was used for was.
Cat with a mouse says. I grew up with it for almost 25 years. It's pretty ingrained into my psyche.
My grandma and my dad were big on trivia shows, so I saw a lot of Jeopardy and a lot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when that thing was going. I saw the first millionaire win the million while I was playing the Microprose Magic the Gathering PC game in the other room. Or something like that. Maybe it wasn't that exactly. But I know I played that game a lot when I was at my grandma's because her PC couldn't handle a lot of games. But it could handle that one. It could do that. It could do Alpha Centauri. It could do XCOM Apocalypse. It could do Minesweeper. I'm running out of things that it could actually do. She did not have a beefy PC. It was a grandma, after all. A grandma of an old man like me. There we go. Man, I so yearn for a game that's like the old Magic the Gathering PC game. You just wander around a map, fight monsters with Magic the Gathering duels, and get cards from them and build your freaking decks, and that was the entire game. Well, you're also supposed to defeat the 5 wizards in their dungeons, but I didn't bother with that shit. I just wanted to play Magic. And it was old school Magic too, so they had like all the broken cards. They had the Power 9. You could have 4 Ancestral Recalls in your deck. All the Moxes. Or the Moxen, rather, the Moxen. Black Lotus, that's another one. I had the Channel Fireball combo.
Cat with a Mouse says, my oldest PC had games ranging from Treasure Cove to the Magic School Bus in the time of dinosaurs to the Lost Mind of Dr. Brain. The very beginning of the CD-ROM era.
I was in gaming like before CD-ROMs were even a big thing. We had the old PCs from like even before my time, the Amigas. Had games such as Fairy Tale Adventure with Nobody Can Beat because it's retarded. In my old age I tried, well not in my old age, but in my adult age, I've tried that game again. And yeah, it's just as bad as I remember it being. Literally no concept of game balance in that thing. And apparently, like, my sister looked into it too, because she's older than me. and she remembered it and tried doing her thing, and like all the guides that she could find are literally just like trying to cheat the system. It's like go outside of town, find a monster, hit it, and run away, and then keep doing that. And if you don't die in the process, eventually you'll gain a level. And if you can keep doing that and gain a few levels, then you can actually play the freaking game, right?
Cat with a Mouse says, some games are so bad that they can still be terrible decades later.
You know, especially back then, like the whole... People are kind of savvy to like game design right now, but back then, like, it had not been developed to a degree that we take for granted now. Kind of interesting going back and looking at them. Let's see, there was also Onslaught, which was a fun one, also poorly designed game. Very awful controls on that game. But I played the hell out of it. Oh yeah, that's actually... That's what this song is from. Because it had some banging music. That's one of the things that was actually good. Like, they didn't have a whole lot of sound effects, or a whole lot of room for sound effects to work with, but they'd like go all out on their freaking soundtracks. You'd have like 1 or 2 songs in the entire game, and they were complete bangers. And that was all the sounds you got in the entire game.
Cat with a Mouse says, learned how to read from TV closed captions and developed my science, math, and pattern recognition skills from computer games.
People really underestimate how useful games can be. I know some people will use like D&D to help their kids learn math because you have to do so much basic math with it. I'm not sure if that what I'm doing here is gonna work. This guy's looking pretty freakish. Look at that freak. And look at this freak.
Retro King Jolty
And
says,
look at that freak.
I don't think I have been on any stream for like 2 months.
Jolty!
Anyways, hi again.
Welcome back! We are in the midst
Cat with a
of
Mouse says,
designing some new creatures.
he's definitely giving Priaki Deaki vibes.
Freaky Diaki. Thanks, Geronimo. That's exactly what that word is. We designed the Sallow King. Basically, let's see, what's his, like, Bizarro World version of over here, over in the corner of the Verdant King. That only took like less than an hour or so, then we started doing like his little agent creatures.
Cat
Yeah, I
with a
think they're
Mouse
pretty
says,
nice.
Eldritch.
These guys are nice little counterparts to the Kree beans, I think. We're gonna have to come up with some names for them, though. That's gonna be the hard part. And we are going to also need to put them all on their own files instead of having them all in the same thing.
Retro King Jolty says, "What's with the top fans thing dash?"
Top fans thing. Oh, yeah. I put in some, Oh wait, you're all over on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. That's some newfangled YouTube thing. I'm not sure what that's all about. I think. I don't know. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to YouTube. Which maybe I should, because we got more people hanging out on YouTube recently. Oh yeah, that's some YouTube thing that I don't understand. But congratulations, you're number 2. Let's see, how big is this
Cat
canvas?
with a mouse says, "It's just an incentive to create more chat interacting."
Pretty much. Apparently YouTube is all about the chat interaction now. They don't like lurkers. I've seen some people complaining about their live stream numbers going down, and apparently YouTube has changed up their algorithms because of that, so...
Retro King Jolty says, Retro King Jolty says,
Ah, dang it. We're gonna have to close the YouTube thingamajig because it's doubling up on the chat.
Retro King Jolty says, "Anyways, time to play some Roblox while watching." Retro King Jolty says, "Anyways, time to play some Roblox while watching."
Okay. Okay, now we should be out of the YouTube chat. Alright. We're just gonna name this guy Agent 3, tentatively. Make him a PNG here. We don't need green bean references anymore. Let's get those out of here. And this guy, let's see. Canvas size. $35 by 25. 100 should be good. Give him a little extra space there. Will be Agent 2. And the last guy. The little guy. Let's see. Canvas size. Let's see, the height is probably pretty good. Make him 18 wide. I do kind of like the cadence of the word you came up with before, Cat. Cannabine. We might use that one. Alright, now we can close this whole thing. Now we got all these. Agents of the Sallow King. Let's see, we also got that other one, that one I showed off earlier.
Cat with a mouse says. He has the face of did you just drop my birthday cake? So, you like the canopies?
I like the cadence of Canopy, yeah. I'm not entirely sold on the cannibal usage, but just the sound of it sounds right. I'm gonna have to actually get on Google Drive and see. I think Patron by now has lined this piece. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's download that. Then we can get a start on this thing.
Cat with a mouse says. Could go with terror plus peas for terror peas. Retro King Jolty says. I'm in such a dangerous situation on Bowblocks RN.
Bowblocks? What is Bowblocks doing to you? Is Blowblocks that scary? Is Roblox a horror game? I've never played it. Alright. There's the face, and here's the colors. And let's just copy and paste that over, and let's put all the sketch in its own folder. Yeah. Let's see. He's made some
Cat with a
additions
mouse
for the
says.
character design here.
Yes. Our chameleon eye rock boy.
Chameleon Eye Rock Bar.
Retro King Jolty says. I gotta go get milk now.
Alright.
Retro King Jolty says. CYA.
See you around. Thanks for popping in. Okay. Finding the correct brush sizes here. All right. The face for this this Petrodon here is actually comes from a certain Vtuber. Let me pull that up. Oh, there's not many good pictures right off the bat. Let's see, where's the VTuber wiki? Better have a picture of a pebble on here. Come on, guys, where's the mascot? How you guys gonna have all this artwork on the website, but not have the picture of a freaking mascot? That is insane. Alright, I guess I'll just use one of these other ones. I guess I didn't get as close as I thought. But yeah, the derpy face kinda inspired by this thing. From this VTuber, rock-based magical girl Koseki Biju. I freaking created Petrox before she ever debuted, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, she stole my idea! I say that about literal pet rocks. Alright, Patron's kind of got this coloring backwards. The eyes are supposed to be over here. Let's make that color, and then this part, whoops, this part should be white. There we go. Alright.
Cat with a mouse says. Apparently VTubers share a hive mind. Your ideas and concepts are so similar.
I tell you what, I am some kind of Nostradamus when it comes to VTubers. Because long ago I designed this thing. This is the Midnight Matron. It's a ghost and beast mythic creature. And it's got these little guys as its smallest agents. Let's see, where's the other one? We got Howl-O-Wisp. And then Will-O-Wolf over here. And I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty cool design. Then one of my favorite VTubers graduates, stops streaming. A few months later, I found another VTuber. And I was listening to her from while she was playing with another one that I was watching. I was like, man, that voice sounds familiar. And I was listening to it for a while, and I'm like, that's the one! That's the same one! That's the VTuber that graduated. And guess what she freaking is now? Let me pull it up. Bam, look at that, look at that. It's Mint Phantom, the ghost-made VTuber. And look at that. There's her mascot. How does this happen? I don't know.
Cat with a Mouse says, you might be owed some major royalty fees.
I don't think so. Mint has been around before. It's just that she used to be. She was an indie. Then she quit being an indie and went corpo, and she had a completely different avatar, and that's when I found her. When she was Pomu Rainpuff. But then she graduated from that, left the corporation, and went back to her indie persona. So Mint has been around longer than that. I just didn't know about her. I just find that a very humorous coincidence that I go around drawing these things and then randomly VTubers I like pop up that have some kind of relation to the designs that I've drawn. Just weird. Just kind of weird. Also, I just noticed that this strap on the Petrodon doesn't attach to anything on the other side. They're gonna have to fix that.
Cat with a Mouse says, Petrodon and Ed might be cut from similar spools of cloth.
You know what? For a second there, I thought you said schools of cloth, and I was like, cloth doesn't have schools? What are you talking about? That's crazy. Alright, this needs to be a little more curved, I think. There we go. Now we're cooking. And color in the straps there. Alright. Wait a second. Damn it, I did this on the wrong one. I've been coloring the wrong thing. Alright, let's get rid of these. And then paste the rest of it on here. Here we go. This is the proper file. Let's go and close the other thing. There we go. Now I can see what exactly color is this thing here. Something like so? Alright. How does the actual colors look on the other one? A little more orangish. Alright. Colors are one thing that I'm kind of iffy on, so I'm going to try and take some cues from the actual AI image as much as possible, because I think it might actually know better than me in this situation. I think these are the same color as the rest of that. Is it? Wait, let's bring up the actual reference for this guy. Peter, where you at? Okay. Yeah, no. He's got the same color as his belt on there. And these are metal. Alright, binding crystal is refixed. What color has he got? It's an orangish color for his binding crystal here. So we don't need these to be on two separate layers. We're going to merge all these layers. And I think we can just start throwing some shading on right meow. Let's get this up here as like an actual reference image for the colors themselves. or rather for the shading. Alright, we don't need all these VTuber pictures up here. Gonna crash my PC. And we'll make the background like so. And we'll just start throwing on some shading here. Let's see. What color are they using? Kind of a bluish one. Let's use our blue then. We'll clip to that. Let's see. Most of this we can just color all in. We'll put it all in shading. Let's see, how does that work there? Kinda curved like that. All right. Not a whole lot else to shade on that guy. Peter's got a little more going on though. Let's see. Gonna have like this whole leg in shadow. Alright.
Orlando Zoom says. Incoming.
Hello. Incoming. A raid! Hello, Orlando Zoom. How's it going? Thank you for the raid. We're over here working on some art for my monster collecting tabletop
Orlando Zoom
RPG.
says. How goes?
Oh, it goes. Just getting some art done that I started a while back. We went through designing some creatures earlier. I'll let you see some of that.
Orlando Zoom says. Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Link says.
Thank you.
I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Thanks, Geronimo. We got what's it called? Cthulhu Mythos inspired creature here, and then he's got like little things that serve his whims. That all kind of ties into some of the lore behind the game. What are you up to, Orlando? I don't think I've seen you around here before. Although it doesn't say you're a first-time chatter. Have you shown up before? Have I forgotten you?
Orlando Zoom says. I was in with Mildra's raid yesterday.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
Orlando Zoom says. So I decided to raid you.
Well, thanks. We can always use some little boost on Twitch. I stream to several different places at once, but Twitch is kinda iffy. Always nice to have a little boost. So thanks a lot. Let's see. Right now we're just working on a little world building scene.
Orlando Zoom says. Definitely.
Here we've got a Petrodon, which is a construct creature. He's just doing his job, hauling some ore out of the mines for this guy over here, his conjurer. Yeah, I think that's looking all right. Kind of popping back and forth here. I generated an AI image off of my character designs before, just to have kind of like a reference to go off of on this one. So I want to check it, double check the lighting and stuff. Because there's one thing I think it does right. It likes to do lighting pretty well.
Orlando Zoom says. That's what I plan to do when I make my PNG for my channel. Ethereal Dragon 777 says. Yo.
Hello, Ethereal Dragon. How's it going? Did you come in with the raid? Let's see. Alright, yeah, that looks better. Yeah, we were having some discussions on AI art earlier in the stream. And I generally like to think that if artists use it as part of their process, it can be pretty helpful.
Ethereal Dragon 777 says, SI.
C, alright. Good. I don't have to re-explain what I'm doing. Alright. Do want to get like a second
Orlando Zoom
layer
says,
here though.
I mean the PNG I use was made by AI, but that was only because I was dinking around with Grok when it first became a thing. I think of it as concept art.
Yeah. Yeah, concept art is definitely going to be seeing some AI stuff going in. And I doubt that concept artists are even going to like bat an eye at it. Concept artists are one of these weird things where it's like they do all kinds of stuff that normal people would consider cheating. They do like photo bashing and stuff like that. Because their whole job is just to pump out a bunch of ideas as fast as possible. Not really to have fully fleshed out designs from the get-go. I can definitely see how AI art is going to be used in that regard.
Orlando Zoom says, I think AI definitely has its uses, but like most things humans make, it can be abused. Cat with a mouse says, time for me to call it a night. Have fun, Shady, our derpy worker boy.
Okay. We'll see you around, Cat, next time. Oh yeah, there's definitely some stupidity going on with AI art. That's kind of what kicked off the whole discussion. See a lot of AI art simps that are just like, just straight up hating on artists. It's like, you guys know where the data for the things you like come from, right?
Under the rule of a fairy's dream. Verdant King, your gaze I feel.
Orlando Zoom says, I feel like that hate could be put to more constructive use, but that's just me.
Yeah. Especially when it usually comes in the form of like complaining about artists' commission prices. It's like, guys, if the artist has higher prices than you're willing to spend, you can just not buy the art. You don't need it. Okay, CSP, what are you doing? I don't think that's the hotkey I clicked on.
Orlando Zoom says. Exactly.
And I find it very ironic that a lot of these people will complain about artists being entitled, but when it comes right down to it, they want a very customized piece of luxury aesthetic item to their tastes, but they don't want to make it themselves, and they don't want to pay for it. I was like, okay, you just want shit for free. Let's just call it what it is. You just want free shit.
Winding streams with laughter laced, the valley breaks with ancient grace.
Okay, hold up. I got the wrong color here.
Eyes behind the throne, a fairy king's call, the rhythm, a song.
Orlando Zoom says. It's why I tend to do things myself if I want something.
Yeah.
Plus it's a chance to learn or enhance one's own skills.
If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. That is basically what I live by. I don't like modern Pokemon. I'm going to make my own Pokemon. With blackjack and hookers.
By the power of Grayskull,
Hell yeah.
Ethereal Dragon 777 says. Futurama fan, I see.
Futurama. Where is this Futurama? Oh wait, the blackjack and hookers comment. I got you. Okay.
Super duper something says. Nothing is ever a fake Pokemon. It's just a Pokemon that wasn't designed yet. Think about that.
I don't know about that. I like to think that most of my designs are original enough that Game Freak wouldn't have thought of them. But calling them fake Pokemon is good for clickbait. And speaking of, welcome Super Duper. Super Duper something. Were you clickbaited? I don't think I've seen you around before. Did he leave already? I think he might be gone. Uh-oh. I don't want to color in that whole thing.
Super duper something says. Game Freak shows up at your house, drops 300k at your doorstep and says give us your designs, you'll be credited, we just want ownership over them.
Well, it sounds like my designs would be worth something then, so I better hang on to them. It sounds like Game Freak is afraid of Crytures with a Y. I thought you were gonna say they drop a cease and desist, but that would be more their style, to be honest. Considering what they've done to Pal World. Very shitty thing to do. Did you all see that? See what they're doing to Pal World? Trying to claim that they have patents to gameplay patents.
Super duper something says. I'm not one of those oh new Pokemon don't change nothing, it's just a cat but like a chandelier. Really?
I do think some people are too hard on new Pokemon designs. Gen 5 got a lot of flack for the designs, but they're really not that much different from the stuff you'd find in Gen 1. So I don't know what people's problem was. And I like Gen 5. They had an entirely new roster of new Pokemon. No repeats in the base game.
Super duper something says. Unpopular opinion, Pal World was a phase.
Pal World doesn't have as much staying power as I would like. Which is kind of the problem with that style of survival craft game in general, I think. I wouldn't say it's specifically the IP that's the problem. It's the format of the game. But either way, Nintendo should mind their own beeswax.
Super duper something says. I am in no way a Pokemon fan, I respect the series, I watched X and Y. Also X, Y and Z and Lucario is my favorite, but even I heard what I grew up with is the best gen. This new gen sucks mentality.
Yeah, and definitely not like that. I was around for Gen 1 and things definitely got better for a while. Not a big fan of the kind of things they're doing now ever since they went like full 3D. I think Gen 6 was probably the best overall experience. Like, you had some nice quality of life things going on. They had Mega Evolutions, which were very nice, a nice little gameplay addition to spice things up a little, but you still retain the same basic style of game. Then Gen 7 came out, and it was kind of like, okay, this is kind of like Gen 6, but you took out a lot of the fun stuff. And then Gen 8 came out, and they literally just had Mega Evolution, but they're giant. And I was like, okay, that's retarded. No thank you. The first one I skipped. Did not play that
Super
generation.
Duper something says. Opinion on Sun and Moon. I heard it's a great series, but people hated it for the art style.
I do not really pay much attention at all to the actual anime. I'm in it for the games, and that's about it. Or at least I was. I don't think I'll be picking up any new Pokemon games for a while. Whoops, so we need to make that lower opacity. They need to figure out what they're doing with that whole franchise nowadays. Because it seems like the Pokemon games just exist to inject new marketable designs into the merchandise catalog. They're not really focusing on making like good, interesting games anymore, I feel.
Super Duper something says. You seem to have the knowledge of being an OG. Your dream Pokemon game.
I'm definitely OG in the Pokemon sense. Is that a question? What is my dream Pokemon game, are you saying? If so, I'd say the biggest missed opportunity for Pokemon is that they never combined any of the regions. Like, you had Gen 2, and Gen 2 was really cool because you had the whole new region to go through with all the new Pokemon. But then after that was done, you could go back to the old region and play around in that like a sandbox. And I was like, oh, this
Super
is great
Duper
as a
something
kid.
says. Yeah, what is your dream Pokemon game? You got the resources.
And my dream Pokemon game would just be like, it's kinda probably Gen 6 era in terms of gameplay. But instead of like coming out with new regions and a whole like new game every time, they just like add updates to the existing game with new regions for you to explore. That way I don't have to give up all the Pokemon that I've caught and like had good times with previously every time a new generation comes around. Also bring back HMs, or at least something like them. Maybe they shouldn't take up a move slot, but you should have something. You should have something about your Pokemon that can be used in the actual
Super
environment,
Duper
not
something
just
says.
in the thing.
You want a live service Pokemon? Live services games have been flopping though.
I wouldn't say it's live service, it's just literally give me a Pokemon game with expansion packs. We used to do that back in my day. We'd have expansion packs. We didn't have DLCs, we had expansion packs. And it was like, oh, my favorite game got more things to do in it? That's cool. And I liked expansion packs because I didn't have to start over and I could keep playing things that I liked and there was new stuff to play around with. Live service games in the modern sense usually rely on like cosmetics and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not like majorly against that. I don't really care. I can just not buy that stuff. But basing your entire game around that, not the greatest idea, I think. Here's the fun part of the
Super
drawing
duper
process.
something says.
Softening the edges
If I
of
could
those
give my
shadows.
opinion, mind you I never touched a single second of Pokemon games.
Alright, let's hear the Pokemon layman opinion. I hate this part of the drawing.
Super duper something says. I'ma take your region idea and create an open world Pokemon game. Make it called Pokemon OG where the number goes back to 151. Lean hard into interactivity with the battles. 1/2.
Interactivity with the battles. That's something I probably would not like. Pokemon should stay turn-based, although it should have more depth to it. And this thing I'm working on, Crytures, the tabletop RPG, we're using a tactical combat system as the main way of resolving battles. So you got a map, you move your guys around the map, And that adds a little extra depth to the whole thing than just, you know, the JRPG thing of standing in a line and trading attacks.
Super duper something says. Introduce a dodge button for your Pokemon instead of some flip coin bullshit. Make elementals really matter, like even a low level grass can almost solo a high level fire type.
Well, a low level grass would get soloed by a low level fire type. You got your type advantages mixed up there. That's how we know you're a Pokemon noob. I'm not big on adding like dodge buttons and whatnot. Although that seems to be where the games are heading with the current, or the next thing they're doing. I heard somebody on Twitter saying they tried a demo of it at some con, and like the representative there was like asking them like if they've played anything with a combat system like that, and they're like, not really, no. And the rep was like, well, it's kind of like Dark Souls, isn't it? Ah yes, Pokemon ZA, the Dark Souls of Pokemon. We're really going with that, are we? I say lean heavily into the turn-based combat, make it tactical. They actually had a game like that. They had Pokemon Conquest, which was a little tedious because they made like an entire like grand strategy game out of it. But the tactical combat battles were pretty good for being fairly low depth. They could expand that into something a little more in-depth. I think they'd have something actually good, but they don't like to do
Super
that.
duper something says. Maybe also instead of this make the Pokemon have every movie they can learn be usable. Who cares about balance? They mostly offline players anyway.
I don't know, I kind of like the idea of limiting the options that people have. That way, it's like a resource management thing. Which Pokemon could use a lot more resource management. The normal way I would play a Pokemon game is that I would basically just brute force the main campaign. Oh, I'm at the Elite Four, time to stock up on potions and revives. Then I go in there with my plethora of potions and revives and just get as far as I can, gain some levels and die, and then go back at it, because there's literally no punishment for doing so, other than losing your money. But I spent all my money, so I didn't lose anything.
Super duper something says. Expedition 33 had dodge and parry, so I loved that I could control my characters.
Ugh. I like to chill out when I'm playing my games. I don't like it when I have to like be on my toes all the time. Which is why I'm a big turn-based stan. Just let me leave and like go get a drink or a snack whenever I want. Ah, excuse me.
Super duper something says. Judging by your tone, you spit on Expedition 33's shoes.
I wouldn't say I spit on it, but I'm not a fan of JRPGs in general. It's not my cup of tea. I respect that it was a small team just doing it for the passion and putting AAA games to shame. So in that sense, yeah. But I wouldn't care to play it myself. And the fact that they're former Ubisoft devs is just icing on the cake. They're kinda one of the main culprits of gaming becoming so stale these days.
Super duper something says. And this is the part where we agree to disagree, our paths are too split to reach an understanding.
Unfortunately, my taste in games is fairly niche. I'm always clamoring for something that actually scratches my itches. Of course, that's part of the reason why I'm trying to make my own game here. The world I know no longer exists. Alright, how's the reference look?
Super duper something says. I wouldn't say niche, it's just a dying genre, to be blunt, waiting to be revived by the mainstream that won't accept it.
I don't need it to be mainstream. There's quite a few indies out there that are making pretty decent games. They're just not that common. There's one game called Battle Brothers that I am big into. I always keep coming back to it on and off. I believe it was released in 2017. And I literally have like, I think at least 800 hours in that game. Let me pull up Steam and check it. Battle Brothers. 874.9 hours. I played the shit out of that game. And it's moddable. So after I went through all their DLC expansions that they put out, I found mods to keep adding new stuff. And that's nice.
Super duper something says. Replayability goes crazy.
That is like one of the main things I really look for in a game. People like to shit on procedurally generated stuff, but I find if you account for that and like bake it into the design properly,
says. Someone outdid Rockstar in content.
if you bake it into the design properly, it can go really far. And the cool thing about Battle Brothers is just that the combat system is very tight. It has a good depth to it and a hefty dose of challenge. And like every fight that you get into is different. Not always a whole lot different, but it's enough. Like you're dealing with weird terrain, or you got guys with awkward weapons that you might not be prepared for, that you have to work around, and it's like it's got a lot of depth, and that lends to a lot of the replayability when you include the procedural generation aspects. I'm starting to get a little tired here. Might need to call it quits pretty soon. I didn't plan on finishing this thing to begin with. We went through all the other designs and I'm like, wow, these didn't take the entire stream at all. I guess I'll work on this other thing that I had in the back that I wasn't planning on doing. Let's see. I don't know. It's really close to being done, though. Let's see. Maybe we can at least throw like some scenery on there. A little impression of a background.
Super duper something says. Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad. Let's see. Got some light areas. And the reference has actually moving to blue down in the background here.
Super duper something says. You'd be a great spokesperson for Battle Brothers.
I guess. I mean, the best advertisers are fans doing word of mouth, as far as I understand. Who are you gonna listen to? Some ad that comes on and gives you a stupid little pitch and tries to socially manipulate you? Or are you gonna listen to somebody who actually likes the thing and is talking about it because they just like it?
Conjurers bold with their robes of red to track the spider swift and sly.
That's why game companies are so big on getting streamers to advertise their games or just play their games.
shadows meet, where the
People trust the streamer's opinion a lot more than what they see on an ad.
Super duper something says. Random ask question, you got some advice? Doesn't matter what, just knowledge.
Advice? I don't know if I have anything to advise on.
A pack of caterpillars, fierce and green, burst through
I don't know what kind of advice are you looking for?
their carapace shining like armored knights. The forest echoed with battle cries. Oh, woe betide the
Art advice, gaming advice, streaming advice. I'm not good at that. You're like the only person in chat right now, so you probably don't want to listen to my advice on streaming.
but paralyzed in the forest snare. Spell and claw in a fiery clash.
Let's see.
Starlight faint through the trees did flash. The conjurers stood, their powers ablaze.
Super duper something says. Knowledge, what is something you learned in passing?
And the fading night.
I don't know.
Conjurers knew they'd lost the
I can't be smart on command.
They ran through the woodland path from the rage of the swarm and its caterpillar wrath.
And I especially can't be deep. Let's see, random advice. Don't listen to Zoomer Doomers. They're just boomers in a different time.
Super duper something says. You just strike me as a smart 50-year-old gamer, take that as you will.
Well, I'm not 50. I ain't that old. Thankfully. I'm still a little bit hip to the kids these days.
Super duper something says. White hair just for show, huh?
Oh no, I'm just going white. I'm just going gray early, bro. My dad had a full head of gray hair at my age, before he was even 40. It's genetic. But to answer your question, my model is vaguely based on my real life appearance. Vaguely. Being the key word. Oh, what is this? What am I doing here? I think we want a glow layer? Let's make that a glow layer. There we go. Oh man, I hate doing scenery. I think we might need to call it a night here before I get burnt out on drawing. Let's see, do we have anybody hanging around in the other places that might be up for a raid? Doesn't look like it. It looks like the other places are fairly quiet. Alright. We will go ahead and call it a night here. So, thanks for hanging out, Super Duper something, and everybody else who popped in and popped out. We had a pretty active chat the whole time. That was nice.
Super Duper something says. Mini rant, TikTok has blocked off trends if I'm being honest. 5 scrolls on TikTok give me the inside scoop and it's like, what does YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook have anymore?
Bro, I am so with you. Oh man, the freaking algorithms at play in this is a freaking rant right here. The algorithms at play going on in social media are so screwy right now. It's obnoxious.
Super Duper something says. Honestly, it's like back in the day every social media had a thing, but now it's just Twitter said this or this new TikTok trend.
Yeah. But also the freaking algorithms just push shit. Everything's algorithmic. It doesn't matter what you follow. Everything's algorithmic. Everything gets pushed to you. And what astounds me, here's the kicker. They harvest so much data on your personal preferences, on all the things you like to engage with, and all that garbage. And what do they do with it? The algorithms aren't any better. They get worse. They're worse. They just push stuff to you that you don't want to see all the time. I hate it. I freaking hate it. I want to go back to the good old days. And that makes me sound even older. Alright. Yeah, there's my spiel. Alright. See you next time. Bye.